Hello, I am Dr. Sigarkanti. In this video, we discuss some properties of rings. Number one, in a ring R, comma plus comma dot, show that 1 A into 0 equal to 0 into A is equal to 0. This is true for all A belongs to R. This is one. Second property, A into minus B equal to minus A into B equal to minus of AB for all A and B belongs to R. Third one, minus A into minus B is equal to A into B. Minus A into minus B equal to A into B. This is true for all A and B belongs to R. So let us try one by one. First one, we have to prove this A into 0 equal to 0 and 0 into A is equal to 0. First I will consider A into 0. Okay. I will prove that first I will prove that A into 0 equal to 0. Then I will prove that 0 into A is equal to 0. So here first I will consider we have 0 is the identity with respect to addition. Therefore, we have 0 plus 0 is equal to 0 itself. Now, operating by A on both the sides on to the left, we get A into 0 plus 0 is equal to A into 0. Now, by distributive laws, we can write left hand side A into 0 plus A into 0 is equal to, on the right hand side, we have A into 0. As 0 is the identity element, I can add 0 on the right hand side. Right? Now, by left cancellation law, we can cancel this A into 0 and A into 0. That is removing this A into 0, which is on the left. This implies A into 0 is equal to 0. So, this is by left cancellation law. Okay. So, we have got A into 0 equal to 0. Similarly, again, 0 plus 0 can be written as 0. Now, operating by A on the right on both the sides, we get 0 plus 0 into A is equal to 0 into A. By the right distributive law, we can write the left hand side as 0 into A plus 0 into A is equal to. So, here we can write 0 into A plus I can add 0 because 0 is the identity. Again by left cancellation law, 0 into A plus this equal to 0 into A plus this. I can cancel this 0 into A, 0 into A. So that is here, removing these two elements, we get 0 into A is equal to 0. So what we proved here is A into 0 equal to 0. Here we have proved 0 into A equal to 0. So therefore we can write A into 0 equal to 0 into A is equal to 0. This is true for all A belongs to R. This is one. Next I will go to the second one. Second one is I have to prove that A into minus B equal to minus A into B is equal to minus of A B. This we have to prove. So for this, first I will prove that A into minus B equal to minus A B. Okay, for that consider consider AB plus A into minus B. And this is equal to, by the distributive laws, we can write this as A into B plus of minus B. And this is equal to A into, what is B plus of minus B? This is nothing but 0. And already we have proved that A into 0 equal to 0. So that is here AB plus A into minus B. I am getting this is equal to identity with respect to addition. What this implies is this element is nothing but inverse of AB. That is, this implies A into minus B equal to inverse of AB with respect to what? With respect to addition. With respect to addition. So that is A into minus B equal to this is the inverse with respect to addition. We denote this by minus. Minus of what? Minus of A, B. Okay, that is, we have proved that A into minus B equal to minus AB. Similarly, if I consider minus A into B plus AB, this is equal to, here by distributive laws we can write this as minus A plus A into B. This is equal to minus A plus A is nothing but 0. I am getting 0 into B. But already we have proved that 0 into B is equal to 0. So that is minus A into B plus AB is equal to 0, means this is the inverse of AB. Okay, inverse of AB. So that is, here we write this minus A into B is the inverse of AB with respect to addition. So that is, here minus A into B is that equal to inverse with respect to addition, means minus inverse of what? Inverse of A, B. So here we have proved that, okay, minus, here we have considered A into minus B, here I have considered minus A into B. So here A into minus B is equal to minus AB. Here minus A into B is equal to minus AB. So that is what I proved here is A into minus B equal to minus A into B is equal to minus of AB. Okay. So this is the second result. And third result is minus A minus B equal to AB. Right. So here from the second one, see here this one. This is the result. Negative sign, minus sign is on to the second element. If negative sign is on to the second element, then we can take this negative sign outside. Then we can write AB. And what is this result? Here negative sign is to the left, to the first element here. If the negative sign is to the first element here, then we can take this negative sign outside and then we can write A into B. So that is, negative sign is to the first element or to the second element, then we can take this outside, right? Using this property, I will prove the third one. That is, third one I have to prove this, that is minus A into minus B is equal to A into B. This we have to prove. So for this, consider minus A into minus B. This is equal to, see, negative sign is to the first element, then I can take this outside here. So taking this outside, what I am getting here is A into minus B, right? Again this is equal to minus, again this is equal to minus, see, within this bracket, minus sign is to the right second element here, then we can take this outside here. So this is minus of AB. Okay, then this is equal to. See here, minus of minus means inverse of inverse is the same element. That minus of minus, we can write this is equal to A into B. Okay. Minus A into minus B is equal to A into B. Now we'll go to one more property. Second property. Let R comma plus comma dot be a ring and is such that such that A square equal to A, this is true for all A belongs to R, then number one, the property is A plus A is equal to 0. Number two, second one, A plus B equal to 0 implies A equal to B. Third one, R is abelian. R is abelian. So here it is given that R is a ring with this property A square equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to R. Then we have to prove these three. First I will go for this one. So that is here solution 1. So here let A belongs to R. What this implies? A plus A also belongs to R. Now, if A plus A belongs to R, then A plus A square is equal to A plus A itself. Because this is true here. A square equal to A for all A belongs to R. A plus A belongs to R, therefore A plus A square is equal to A plus A. And what is this left hand side? A plus A square means A plus A into A plus A is equal to A plus A. And by the distributive laws, we can write this as, so we can take the multiplication A into A plus A into A plus A into A plus A into A. That is A square plus A square plus A square plus A square is equal to A plus A. And here we have A square equal to A. Okay, so that is, this implies, we write this as A plus A plus A plus A is equal to A plus A. Now here treating this as one element and treating these three as another element, and on the right hand side we have this one element and this is the another element. Now we can use this left cancellation law. By using left cancellation law, I can cancel this A and this A. What this implies by left cancellation law is A plus A plus A is equal to A. And I will write this right hand side, I will write A as A plus 0. Again use the left cancellation law. Treating this A, first element, second element. Here this is the first element, this is the second element. By left cancellation law, we can cancel the element which is on the left here. A I can remove here. Removing A and A, then we get here A plus A is equal to 0. This is what we have to prove. So we have proved that A plus A equal to 0. And second one, A plus B equal to 0 implies that A equal to B. So I have to consider this A plus B equal to 0. Then I have to prove that A equal to B. Okay, I'll go to the next page. Second one, what we have to prove is A plus B equal to 0 implies that A equal to B. This we have to prove. A plus B equal to 0 implies that A equal to B. This we have to prove. Okay. So here given that a plus b equal to 0. So I will write this as a plus b equal to 0 can be written as a plus a. This is by 1. Already we have proved in 1. A plus a equal to 0 we have proved. So here we can use left cancellation law, or okay, I have to use the left cancellation law. If I use left cancellation law, I can remove this a and a. What this implies here is b equal to a, or we write a is equal to b. So a plus b equal to 0 implies that a equal to b. And third one, I have to prove that R is abelian. Third one, R is abelian. R is abelian. To prove that R is abelian, what I have to prove? So we have to prove that we have to prove that AB equal to BA for all A and B belongs to R. This we have to prove. Okay. So here let me take let A comma B belongs to R. Then what this implies? A plus B also belongs to R. If A plus B belongs to R, then A plus B square is equal to A plus B itself. This is given property here. A square equal to A for all A belongs to R. So here we have A plus B belongs to R. Therefore A plus B square must be equal to A plus B. And this on the left hand side, what is this? A plus B can be written as A plus B into A plus B is equal to A plus B. Okay. And this implies, taking the by distributed law, we can write this as A into A plus A into B plus B into A plus B into B. So first A into A is A square plus A into B is AB plus B into A is BA plus B into B is B square is equal to, on the right hand side I have A plus B. Okay. Now we have A square equal to A and B square is equal to B. So that is, we can write this as A plus AB plus BA plus B square is B. This is equal to A plus B. Now here treating this as the first element here and remaining all the second element. Okay. And on the right hand side we have A, here B. Okay. So we can use the left cancellation law. By cancelling left element here, we can cancel A and A. So that is here, by left cancellation law, we can cancel this A and A. This A I can cancel. Then we write here this as AB plus BA plus B is equal to. On the right hand side, B is remaining. I will write this B as 0 plus B. Now use the right cancellation law. By using right cancellation law, I can cancel B and B. So that is here, by right cancellation law, I can cancel B and B. Then I will write here AB plus BA is equal to 0. BB gets cancelled here. We can remove B and B. Now here we have AB plus BA equal to 0. Then what is our second result? Result number 2 is here. A plus B equal to 0 implies A equal to B. Right? So here we have AB plus BA equal to 0 implies that AB equal to BA. So that is, this implies AB equal to BA. This is by result number 2. Okay, this is by result number 2. This implies R is abelian. So that is here commutative law holds with respect to multiplication for all A and B belongs to R. Therefore, we say that R is abelian. Okay. So this is the second property. Next, I will go for another property. One theorem, small theorem. What is theorem? Every field is an integral domain. Every field is an integral domain. I have to prove that every field is an integral domain. That is, consider a field and show that it is an integral domain. So for that, I will consider, let F be a field. Let F be a field. I have to prove that this is an integral domain. Now, before going to prove this result, let me know the definitions of field and integral domain. So what is a field here? Field is commutative ring with unity, commutative ring with unity, in which every non-zero element is invertible. So this is the definition of a field. What is an integral domain? Integral domain is commutative ring with unity without zero divisors. This is the integral domain. So I have taken F be a field. F be a field means F is a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element is invertible. I have to prove that this F is an integral domain. To prove that it is an integral domain, I have to prove that it is a commutative ring with unity without zero divisors. Okay. So as F is a commutative ring, okay, no need to prove this one. F is with unity, no need to prove this also. Only thing I have to prove that F is without zero divisors. That is, it is sufficient to prove that F is without zero divisors. Okay. So here it is sufficient to prove that F is without zero divisors. Then what is the definition of without zero divisors? Without zero divisors is if A not equal to 0, B not equal to 0 implies that AB is also not equal to 0. Or AB equal to 0 implies that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. So that is, we have to consider AB equal to 0, then we have to prove that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Then this shows that F is without zero divisors and hence this becomes an integral domain. Okay. So here let me consider AB equal to 0. My aim is to show that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. Now here, if suppose A is not equal to 0, if suppose A is not equal to 0, this implies A inverse exists in F, because F is a field. Okay. By the definition of a field, every non-zero element is invertible. If A is not equal to 0, then A inverse exists. Now operating by A inverse on this equation. So that's here A inverse into AB equal to A inverse into 0. Left hand side can be written as A inverse into A into B equal to, we know that A into 0 equal to 0. Therefore, A inverse into 0 is equal to 0. Now, what is this A inverse into A? This is nothing but 1. That is identity with respect to multiplication. This is unity. This is 1 into B is equal to 0. But what is 1 into B? 1 into B is nothing but B equal to 0. So, what we proved here is, if A not equal to 0, we have proved that B equal to 0. Again, I'll consider like this. If B not equal to 0 implies that B inverse exists. Okay, so again, if B not equal to 0, then B inverse exists. Then operating B inverse on the right onto this equation. AB into B inverse is equal to 0 into B inverse. So that is, this can be written as by associative law that this is A into B inverse equal to, we know that 0 into anything is 0. So this is equal to 0. So that is, this implies A into BB inverse is equal to 1. This is equal to 1 is equal to 0. And we know that A into 1 equal to A itself. That is, this implies A is equal to 0. See here, if A not equal to 0, we are able to prove that B equal to 0. And again, if B not equal to 0, we are able to prove that A equal to 0. So that is finally what we proved. This implies AB equal to 0 implies that A equal to 0 or B equal to 0. This shows that F is without 0 divisors. That is, this shows that so what this implies is, this implies F is without 0 divisors. Okay. So here F is a commutative ring with unity and without 0 divisors, means F must be an integral domain. So that is, this implies F is integral domain. Okay. So that is here, every field is an integral domain. We have proved that every field is an integral domain. What about its converse? Is every integral domain is a field? So here the converse of the theorem is not true. Is not true. For that, I will give an example here. Z comma plus comma dot. This is a commutative ring. Okay. Commutative ring because AB equal to BA with unity. Okay. Because 1 belongs to Z. And it is without 0 divisors, because here if A is not equal to 0, B is not equal to 0, then definitely AB is also not equal to 0. Or if AB equal to 0, we can have the same thing as A must be equal to 0 or B must be equal to 0. One of these two must be equal to 0. This is a Z comma plus comma dot is a commutative ring with unity and without 0 divisors. Therefore, Z comma plus comma dot is an integral domain. Okay, this is an integral domain. But is this a field? Is not a field. Is not a field because every non-zero element is not invertible here. For example, we take 5 belongs to Z, but what is its inverse with respect to multiplication? 1 by 5 is the inverse. This does not belong to Z. Therefore, Z comma plus comma dot is not a field. Okay. So that is every field is an integral domain, but every integral domain need not be a field. Are there any integral domains which are fields? Yes. Some integral domains are there which are fields. That is, finite integral domain is a field. Finite integral domain is a field. I will prove this as another theorem here. Every finite integral domain is a field. This is one result here. Every finite integral domain is a field. That is an integral domain which is finite, definitely a field. So to prove this, what I do here is I will consider a finite integral domain. That is, let D equal to. What is an integral domain? It is a commutative ring with unity without zero divisors. Commutative ring means, first of all, it is a group with respect to addition, therefore 0 must be there. I will write 0. It is with unity, therefore I will write 1 here. And remaining elements say A1, A2, A3, A4 and AN be a finite integral domain. I have to prove that this is a field. To show that this is a field, what I have to prove? I have to prove that D is a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element is invertible. For that, so as this integral domain is a commutative ring, okay, it is already proved, and it is with unity, though second is also proved. Only thing I have to prove that every non-zero element is invertible. So this is the zero element, and this is the identity with respect to multiplication. This is always invertible. Inverse of 1 is 1 itself. I have to consider an element here. These are all non-zero elements here. One arbitrary element here, and I have to prove that inverse of that element exists. So let me consider, let AI not equal to 0 belongs to D. Let AI not equal to 0 belongs to D. If I am able to prove that AI is invertible, then I can say that D is a field. Okay, so for this, consider a set. Consider say D1 is equal to AI into D. That is, multiply all the elements by AI, keeping AI on the left. So first one, AI into 0 equal to 0 itself, and AI into 1 is equal to AI. Third element is AI A1. Second element is AI A2. Third element is AI A3, and so on. AIAN. This is our D1. So we are forming one more set here. Now here, since AI belongs to D and A1, A2, A3, AN, this also belongs to D, this implies AI A1, AI A2, AI A3, AI AN also belongs to D. So that is, this is an element AI into A1 belongs to D, AI into A2 belongs to D, AI into A3 belongs to D, AI into A also belongs to D. That is, all the elements of D1 are the elements of D. This proves that D1 is a subset of D. That is, this implies D1 is a subset of D. I take this as a 1. And here we claim that elements of D1 are distinct. So no two elements of this are same here. Okay. Now here, if possible, suppose two elements are same. Say AI into AJ is equal to AI into AK for J is not equal to K. What this implies? This implies AI AJ minus AI AK is equal to 0. Right? And this implies, by distributive laws we can write AI into AJ minus AK is equal to 0. And here we have D is an integral domain, therefore D is without 0 divisors. So that is AI into AJ minus A equal to 0. This implies AI equal to 0 or AJ minus AK is equal to 0. Now here, since AI is not equal to 0, we have considered AI is an element which is not equal to 0. Okay. So if AI is not equal to 0, the only possibility is AJ minus AK equal to 0. That is here, since AI not equal to 0, this implies AJ minus AK is equal to 0. Okay. Now, AJ minus AK equal to 0 implies that AJ is equal to AK, which is a contradiction. Because here J is not equal to K. Therefore, AJ must not be equal to AK. What I am getting here is AJ equal to AK, which is a contradiction. Therefore, elements of D1 are distinct. So that is, no repetitions are there. So therefore, what is the number of elements in D1? So this is our D1 here. See here 0 and this is AI. Two elements are here, and here totally we have n elements are here. N plus 1 plus 1, n plus 2 elements are here. And D also consisting of n plus 2 elements. So this is here n plus 2 elements. So here we have, and this is same as D. So D1 is equal to n plus 2 and n plus 2, that is number of elements in D1 is n plus 2 and number of elements in D is also equal to n plus 2, and we have already D1 is a subset of D. One is subset of the other, and these two have the same number of elements, implies D1 must be equal to D. D1 must be equal to D. Okay. So these two are same here. Therefore, the elements are same here. Any element belongs to D must also belong to D1. Now here we have 1 belongs to D, implies 1 also belongs to D1. Right? Now here what is D1? This is my D1. So first element is 0. Second element is AI. Third element is AI into 1. AI into A1, AI into A2, AI into A3, AI into AN. 1 belongs to this. 0 is not equal to 1 and AI is also not equal to 1. Therefore, 1 must be somewhere here. That is 1 is in the form of AI into something. So that is here 1 belongs to D1 means. So 1 belongs to D1 implies 1 must be of the form AI into some element, say AJ. So I am getting here AI into AJ equal to unity means AJ is the inverse of AI, implies AJ is the inverse of AI. So that is AI is invertible. AI is invertible. So that is here we have D is a commutator ring with unity, and we have taken AI is any non-zero element, and we are able to prove that it is invertible. So that is here D is a commutator ring with unity in which every non-zero element is invertible. Then this implies, this means D is a field. Okay, so that is we have proved that every finite integral domain is a field. So thank you. I will stop here.